And we are live. This is the Live Drive Jive Archive, broadcasting to you live, straight out the capital, Beijing, China. If you didn't know, if this is your first time watching, welcome. Nice to see you out there. I hope you are doing well out in Happy Land. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be on this, the 28th of September, 2021. It is half past the hour, 6 a.m. here in China. It's funny to me that just a decade ago, all my mates here in the capital were like, it's probably time to get out of China, yo. And I thought, well, yeah, you know, whatever. If your life is led by going with the tide, then just come day, go day. Wishing my heart it was Sunday, drinking buttermilk through the week, whiskey on a Sunday. Yeah, if you just go with the tide, then that's fine and dandy, but I live my life based on immutable principles of mysticism. And this whole dream experience, this whole dreamland experience of the waking state is a kind of simulation, as they say. We're being tested on many levels. And sometimes it's hard to hold true to your principles because it all seems so real, right? And you can't worry about what's going on right now. You got to wonder, what are they preparing people for? So, right now, imagine if you were an Australian and you said, hey, I got to get the hell out of China, get back to Australia. And right now what the Australian people are going through, open warfare of the state against the common man. And I still see people saying, oh, but the invisible boogeyman, it's going worldwide. And I'm like, whoa, take it easy there, kindergartner. Those invisible boogeymans have always been there and will always be there. And not a lot you can do about that. Just ride the wave, baby. So they weighed anchor and got back to their so-called home states, which they're all starting to learn now are just satellite states of the dragon. If you thought anything else was going on, you had your head straight up your ass, man. I would listen to Giza Death Star at the end of last year. That's Dr. Joseph P. Farrell of Giza Death Star fame. And he would say, yeah, the Fourth Reich, this new Fourth Reich is what he calls it, the Nazi secret space program, because they believe in space and shit like that, and they think it's important. It's the only part of that game that's important is the MFers, the money funding, the fact that they will divert literally trillions of dollars, in the 20s of trillions. What was 27 trillion is turning into, I mean, it's an unfathomable amount of money being put into toy rockets. So anyway, my point being is that Dr. Farrell said, yeah, they're about to cut China out of the game, monetarily wise and so on and so forth. And you got to realize, man, that there's a long-term game, and so far the Dragon is winning. Wow, we got a little bitty rinky-dink car in the fast lane just putting along. Dude doesn't even fucking care, man. Him and his mate, they got like a old beater, smoke coming out the pipe, chugging along, rattling and shaking. That's how I felt yesterday, man. I thought there was something wrong with my car. Turns out it's fine. I don't know what was up. You always got to wonder when the car does something funny once, and then later on that day, it's not doing it. It's cool again. I checked it out, man. I did a spot check anyway. So I was telling Dr. Farrell, I'm like, bro, you're wrong. China is so strategically positioned globally that nobody has a choice in cutting China out of anything. China's calling the shots in Africa, South America, East Asia, South Pacific, Asia Pacific Ocean. And they're infiltrating into strong infiltration in the Americas on both the East and West Coast. Canada, Australia's theirs, man. They took it over. They're showing the Australians what the New World Order looks like. And there's only a couple of folks out there actually admitting that these Nazi operatives in Australia are on the teat of the Luka people. Luka, Superman. Love you long time. Most aren't even admitting it. They're just blaming the apparatus of the Australian state. There is no apparatus of the Australian state. Beijing Biden in the U.S. is showing you point blank that there is no apparatus of the Constitution any longer. It's the homeland. What is the homeland? The homeland is a corporatized system that's part of the New World apparatus. That old goofball Alex Jones, there's a word that'll get you banned in the New World Order, right? Was calling it out years ago. And there's some that say, hey, don't point the finger at the dragon. The actual beast is the golem. And I think, I don't know. You think that really followers of the Kabbalah, you think are the real ones calling the shots? I don't know, it's a tough scenario. Honestly, I think it's all already way beyond any of them. The alien overlords have already firmly enthroned themselves. And when I say that, I mean AI, alien intelligence. A system of artificially, and you shouldn't even call it intelligence, because it's not intelligence. It's just, it's systems of dominance that are run on factory-style algorithms in society. So the full assembly line factory model has already been rolled out into society and enshrined as the new head of state. That's why it doesn't matter if a particular nation positions their guy like Beijing Biden and son Hunter. Beijing Biden and son Hunter. I mean, yeah, sure, they're going to come over to Beijing and have a good time and party like it's 1999 and get all the adrenochrome and hookers and everything they want. But they're just taking the blue pill, man. You know that the first thing that motherfucker does every day is pop a blue pill. And then he's popping scheduled pills all day long just to stay in the game, because he's not in the game. He's a Muppet. So recent Dreamland adventures, I've been seeing a lot of future tech emerging. Of course, we're ground zero here for tech development and implementation of the AI systems in society. I was telling Dr. Farrell 2-3 years ago, even before this whole new scenario of Bachelor of Science came out, right? BS. Believe the science. BS. BS. Believe the science, right? Before they launched the Bachelor of Science program, this guy made a wrong move, and now he's in my lane, playing games, blocking the road. What a dummy. Oh well. He doesn't care. He had to do what was convenient for him. You know? Fuck the normalcy of which gate you're supposed to go through. Just go through the gate you want to go through. I like your style, friend. He sees a rule book up ahead of him and he's like, think I got time to pay attention to that shit? I'm a businessman. And he was a businessman. It looked like he had a hazardous materials truck. There was all kinds of warning signs on it. And, you know, skull and crossbones and radioactive material waste signs and all that old happy horse shit. Let's see, what do I do here? We got 3 straight lanes that turn into 1 straight lane after the light. I will take pole position here. Is pole position far right or far left? I think pole position is whichever direction the first turn goes. So if out of the gate your turn goes left, then the far left would be pole position, right? And if out of the gate the first turn in the race is going to go right, then out of the gate the right-hand lane is pole position. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment box below. I gotta fire me up a COVID killer, man. I haven't had one yet this morning. I'm not allowed to smoke in the house, you know. I'm not supposed to smoke in the car either. Not supposed to smoke at all, according to the rule book. We have got an overcast, Lovecraftian day. You can just feel the gnarliness in the environment. I'll tell you about something that I experienced last night. If you want to talk about microwave radiation and how it affects the body and the brain, I was listening to a podcast on my handset here, and I was charging it simultaneously with a power cell. I was listening to H.P. Lovecraft's The Dunwich Horror. Like I like to do in the evenings, I like to listen to radio. And so I don't typically do this, but I set it somewhere above the top of my head because I was reclining on the sofa. And so I set it like towards the arm of the sofa. And it was like a foot from my head. But my ears started throbbing and ringing and pulsing. And I'm like, oh, that's weird, man. Fucking aneurysm, right? And so I took the handset and I put it down away from me, like towards my feet, and immediately it stopped. And so I got the handset in my hand and I hold it down towards my feet. No ringing, no thumping, no eye twitching. Pull it back up towards my head, boom. And it was like clockwork. If I held it away from my head's fine. If I held it towards my head, my eyes start switching, my ears thumping and ringing. Hold it away from my head, fine. Back to the head, bum, 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 bum. Away from the head, that shows you how powerful those radio signals are and how dangerous they can be. I mean, imagine if you slept with your phone near your head. It would literally cook your brain. And so you got to wonder, is the real situation with all the brain trauma and shit, and my own situation that I experienced, is that because of cell phone technology and 5G? As soon as they went in and installed 5G everywhere all over the city, boom, my fucking head pops. And I gotta go in and have brain surgery. Wow. The real truth that they're not pointing to anymore, that a lot of people were pointing to before the 5G rollout. They were going to protest and fight against 5G because it's an alien system. It's not meant for humans. It's meant to gather data for the eggheads. And they said, we have to cut off people wanting to get out there and protest anything. So let's release an invisible boogeyman. That way, when everybody starts dropping dead from the new tech, we can just say, you got to get your upgrades. Come in for a shot, even if it's a placebo. So the Jabberwockies out there yelling about BS, Bachelor of Science. Believe the science. They're not even investigating the science anymore. It's not allowed. Everybody's been shut up. So I am violating the ban on speech. And I got to cut this shorter because I've already gone past a quarter of an hour. YouTube doesn't make any type of podcasting viable anymore. None of the platforms do. So I love y'all good looking sexy people out in Happy Land. I hope you are well, doing well, staying well, being well, and take care of your good looking fucking sexy selves, man. Everyone's wear a tinfoil hat. I guess that's guy over at Leak Project, he sells like insulated silver hats lined with aluminum and silver and stuff that might be able to protect your head from all the fucking microwave radiation. That's the truth of the matter, man. We have been infiltrated by those from outside. Oh no. Haha, I made it through the light. Hee yippee. Let us pray. Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, every pantheon in every direction of all gods and goddesses, the horned ones, the tailed ones, whatever ones you pay homage to. I personally am involved with a pantheon of celestial beings, workers of light, which sounds so corny and new agey, right? But I know that you have awakened me, great Lord, to the truth of the situation we find ourselves in. This very dire Lovecraftian nightmare. Radioactive signals assaulting our brains and bodies all day, every day. Pollution of the natural environment. The water. Corporatocracy and oligarchies that have put us in a state of great peril. And now seek to end it all. They seek to end the freedom and happiness of humanity. Be with the Australian people, good Lord. Help them to organize themselves as a spirit of resistance and a symbol of freedom. Let them be guided towards truth, that we can no longer idly stand by and have this non-aggressive resistance. We need to hail the coming of the great moon and show a little backbone. We ask all these things in the name of great goodness and peace towards humanity, that we may defeat our alien overlords and restore humanity to its proper place. Let's get it done. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Y'all good looking sexy people out in Happy Land, stay well. We are turning on to Plum Blossom Lane. I got a documentary on Plum Blossom Lane in the works. Yesterday I was out there and I shot like And I meant to go out and just shoot about 20-30 minutes, but I was out there like almost 2 hours shooting, which means too much editing work. I'll cut it down to something manageable, like 5 minutes maybe. Y'all good looking, sexy people, stay happy.